Hello, everyone. It's some day of the week. It's probably going to be Tuesday. I don't know. Hi, it's nice to see you outside of a What's for Dinner episode. Yeah, I bet you know what's coming. Yeah, you know what's coming. It's the School Year Reflection video. As I've said in, I think, the last several, I had intended to stop doing these a few years ago, but then I realized, this is just a great way to just get some thoughts out, just kind of like sit with you unscripted, mostly unscripted, and just kind of like spend some time just reflecting on a year. And this is a big one. This is the completion of my 10th year as a teacher. Let's just sit back for a second and take that in. 10 years ago, first of all, let's look at what that means. That means it's 10 years since Dana graduated from college. It's 10 years that I moved from Pennsylvania to Ohio. Let's see what else. Oh, it's 10 years ago that this steam engine came to the Lehigh Valley, where I'm from. So that's a lot. It's weird looking back and seeing what life, at least in my world, was like in 2015. And here we are in 2025. I'm married, almost 2 years, living in a new place. By new place, I mean new to me. Like, I moved from where I started living in Ohio and now in a new place with Aaron. So those are some pretty big new things. So let's just break down the year a little bit. Like I said last year, I had talked about one of the things I was concerned about was my first school, where I've been 10 years, was getting a new principal. And this principal came in, and it was interesting to see some of the things that she wanted to do differently. She started the school year saying she really wanted to kind of sit back and take in a lot of what the current protocols are at the school and kind of learn from that. And then she wasn't going to make a whole slew of changes immediately, but just kind of wanted to see, what's it like working at this particular school. And I feel she did a really good job at that. There were a few things, obviously, that she implemented that were new. Two things that I can readily think of. The first one, which many people, including myself, were really excited about, was a new cell phone policy. Now, from my understanding, and I don't know if this is a nationwide thing or not, but the state of Ohio is really cracking down on students having electronic devices in classrooms. And there's legislature, I believe, happening that will completely outlaw or ban students from having cell phones in school. Like, they can't have it on their person at all. Now, I don't know if that means they turn it in when they come into the building or not, but I believe there's legislature working through the governments in Ohio for this to happen. So part of what this new phone policy that she introduced was students had to turn the phone in, which they're used to doing, but if they didn't and were caught with a phone, their parents had to come in and claim the phone, and then they had to pay a fee to get the phone back. And there was like a 3-strike policy. So the first try, I think it was $10. The second time it was $20. The third time it was $30. And you had a meeting with the principal, seeing if you wanted to continue going to the school. So from my understanding, there were only 3 instances where a parent had to come in and pay to get the phone back, which, great, the policy's working. So that was nice. The second thing that was introduced was a new, what we call citation or referral or detention policy. I don't exactly know if any detentions were given this year. I do know that the new citation form, it's like a full sheet of paper. Others in years past were like one of those half sheets that were in triplicate. So it's a full sheet of paper that's in the triplicate form. So when you write on it, it goes through to 2 other pages. And it's a bit more detailed. There's a lot more room to write things on, which I really wasn't used to. And quite frankly, I really look or try to not write people up because, as I tell most of the students, it's a lot of paperwork that I don't really want to do. Thankfully, I think I only had to write up maybe 5 or 6 people throughout the course of the year. So I rewatched last year's video where I was talking about what I was hoping this new principal would give, and I actually wrote them down. So there were 3 things that I had said. The first one was that they would be a good fit for our school and our students. The second was that they would be a very good leader. And the third was that they would be very intentional. Kind of going through all those. definitely a good fit for the school. Depending who you ask, I found very good fit for the school and for the student body. Excellent leadership qualities. Sometimes being a leader like that means you have people who don't like you. And you know what? That's part of the job, which is why I don't want that job. So great things there. And intentional. I was very impressed with how easy it was to talk to our new principal about anything. I feel like there are some things that I could relate with her on in terms of our professional background that she's gone through, that I've also kind of gone through. It was nice to have that. And I really, really appreciated and really enjoyed being able to interact with her in that way. So going forward, she is obviously returning next year. And at our last faculty meeting had said that there are some things that she's looking to hopefully adjust for next school year, which, as she had said, she wants to take this last school year to learn and to grow and to figure out for herself what she wants to do before she really implements some new things. Secondly, I am still at my second school. It was a little different this year. So you may recall from last year, I said that I was doing part-time at a second school in the diocese, just doing instrumental music. Instead of having and meeting the students during the school day, we actually had to meet after school, which unfortunately meant I lost a lot of my returning members. So a lot of my 8th graders that were in 7th grade last year did not return this year. And I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to build up numbers to bring the group back to what it was, because I had 10 last year. Well, I ended up having 10, I believe it was 10 or 11. I counted wrong at one point. I think it was 10. I did manage to have 10 this year. I had a large group of brand new students, a lot of them in 6th grade, which was really awesome. But when you have a very young group, it's really great to have all these people coming in and that are brand new, but you have to really work with them to get them to learn. You know, you got to practice, you got to do these things, you got to make sure you're showing up. So I only had one 8th grader from last year return. So I'm hoping that I get most of the new people back. I will have 4 8th graders next year, and 2 of them are very strong players. And I'm excited to have them back, most likely, hopefully. They will obviously be missed because they're going to be graduating. So I do know there is one of the new students that came this year that is not returning to the school, going to a different school next year. So I will have to work around hopefully getting some more new people. I did talk to the principal and ask if I could entertain the thought of opening it up to the 5th grade class next year, but because the 5th grade operates differently than the middle school, that might be a bit difficult. So I'm hoping I can do it. Still not sure that's going to happen yet. So in terms of the school year, what was good, what was bad? When I do this, I mostly focus on the full-time school because I'm there every day. I had talked last year at length, and again, I'm very aware that speaking on a public platform and being a educator, I need to be careful with what I say, but at the same time recognizing that, yes, I do have feelings. Yes, I have thoughts about how things need to go, but I'm also not the one in charge, and I don't want to be the one in charge. In terms of this year, I was kind of withdrawn, and I did notice that I was kind of withdrawn from a lot of the things that I had normally enjoyed being a part of. Mostly because of some of the things that I learned last year, some of the behaviors that I had seen, some of the things that I was not okay with. And I was a bit more withdrawn this year because I don't want to be around negative behavior. I don't want to be around individuals who enjoy and thrive on complaining. I don't want to be around people who just find something that's not right and tear it apart. Why are we doing that instead of building it up? Why are we taking it apart and destroying it rather than finding ways, okay, here's an issue. How can we fix this to make it better? Why must we continually bring down things? I'm not saying that happened all the time, but that's kind of where my mind was last year. You know, why are we continually bringing things down and focusing on all of this not great stuff, and instead, how can we use this energy? How can we use this time to build things up? I told this to somebody recently, and they said to me, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, well, maybe you need to be the one that does that. And I thought, do I want to be that person? And while I may not want to be, maybe I need to be. I don't know. These are things that I'm still thinking about and I'm still mulling over in my mind. So what else can I say? It was a good year for a 10th year. I can't believe it's been 10 years. It does not feel like it's been 10 years. So going forward, what can I say? I am excited for next school year. I did mention in last year's video, last year's 8th grade class was in kindergarten when I started at my full-time school. And I had said that when that class graduated, or when I hit my 10-year mark, that I would start looking for something new. Well, here's the 10-year mark. So what's next? As of right now, I'm staying where I am, both at the part-time school and at the full-time school. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to a change. So we'll see what this next school year brings. We'll see if a new opportunity opens up. My mind has been trusting in the Holy Spirit. That is really what kind of I live by now. You know, the Holy Spirit's going to do what the Holy Spirit does, and that's lead and guide, and all I got to do is trust. So what's happening this summer? Erin and I are finally going on our honeymoon in about 2 weeks. We're going to Vermont for a week, and we're very much looking forward to it. I have never been. She was there, I don't know, several years ago, and has a few places she wants to show me. We're going to be going to Iowa in July to meet with the Twitter crew in Iowa City, north of Iowa City, for a weekend. And I got some other train things happening. I'm going to be going back east to Pennsylvania earlier to do some train things before the honeymoon. I'll be going to Iowa earlier to do some train things, and then a few other things happening here and there. So we might do a couple day trips, Erin and I. As for the channel, every year I say I want to do more, and if I want to do more, I'll do more. I'll find the time. And I'm hoping that I find the time this summer. I miss making the videos, but I also enjoy just living my life, not in front of a screen. And I think that's an okay thing. I think that's a normal thing. If you couldn't already tell, I don't make videos for views. I just make them because I enjoy making them. With that, I'm going to go find Erin. We're out doing some shopping at an outlet store in Michigan. So with that, oh, real quick, if you're the praying kind, would appreciate some prayers. Got some things going on. Nothing bad. It's all good. But it doesn't hurt to ask for prayers every now and then. So, with that, take care. God bless. And I hope to see you all again sometime this summer. Be well.